This was our house back then in North Delhi, before it was gentrified by the new owners. It was a great neighborhood, familiar and friendly. The date was 3rd November 1984. We had held out indoors for 3 days, beginning 31st October when India's then Prime Minister, Mrs. Indira Gandhi, was killed by her Sikh bodyguards. All hell had broken loose after the killing, and there were murders and mayhem everywhere. Our neighbors had amazingly stepped up to protect us from harm, but by the morning of the 3rd, the mob had started swelling and an attack had become imminent. So Gupta uncle in the opposite house contacted the Ashok Vihar police station to get us help. He was rudely told that the army had been called out and the request should be directed to them. Apparently, there was a hot exchange between the local army commander and the SHO in charge of Ashok Vihar police station who had refused to part with patrol maps. So the army decided to create its own maps with the help of local residents. Gupta uncle told them about us, so they immediately dispatched a party in a Russian-built olive green Shaktiman truck with armed troopers escorted by a gun-mounted jeep. They parked the truck in our lane and fanned out in all directions to secure the area. Everyone in the neighborhood was out in their forecourts and balconies to watch the spectacle. The men in olive greens told us to come out and climb the metal ladder into the rear of the truck. There were brief, emotional goodbyes. We didn't know where we were headed and left our home with very little hope of returning and very little else. We were 63 persons belonging to 11 Sikh families from C3 block in the police station compound. By late evening, this compound had some 200 men, women and children from various neighborhoods. We could see the burnt building of Deep Cinema, which was next to the police station and separated only by a 50 feet wide road. After it got dark, the army arranged 2 local private buses to move us to Ludlow Castle Model School, some 4.5 miles away, which had been turned into a makeshift refugee camp. It was a perilous journey. The convoy had a machine gun mounted jeep as a pilot vehicle, a Shaktiman truck with armed troopers in position, the first bus, another Shaktiman truck, the second bus, followed by another machine gun mounted escort jeep. It started moving slowly. The streets were deserted due to the curfew. It wound its way via GT Road, crossing Aryabhat Polytechnic, Nanak Pyao Gurudwara, Maharana Pratap Gate, Shaktinagar intersection, Bungalow Road roundabout, Maurice Nagar crossing. Then, in front of St. Stephen's College on the left and Hindu College on the right. The Northern Ridge, Rajpur Road, where the MCD had its offices, the Rajnivas Marg, which had, and in fact still does, the office and residence of the Lieutenant Governor of Delhi, followed by St. Xavier's School to the right, the then Delhi Police Headquarters on the Rajnivas Marg, Shamnath Marg T-Point, and the Ludlow Castle Model School. This door was opened ajar to make way for the army convoy. Once inside, we were all let out into the ground like sheep. We were allotted the classroom designated for 11D on the 4th floor. We had dust-laden durries to squat on and nothing else to cover ourselves with throughout the night. In the initial hours, there was no water to drink and nothing to eat either. The classroom had windows but no glasses. At 3 a.m., it became very cold and everyone shivered. As if in a commune, everyone huddled together, skin to skin, in a group of 6 to 8 to insulate themselves from the chill. Some dragged the smelly outer edges of the durries to cover their toes. It was a nightmare. But we survived somehow. Thousands of others weren't so lucky.